stay. Hold on, child. Give me back to where I need to be. I'm finna get it situated. It's gonna be either you first or my second channel first. Technically, my first channel. You're the second. Let's just go ahead and get Candace started. We listen. I know you came in yesterday.
Drop your kitchen scraps in here instead of here, and you'll never have to deal with nasty trash. Plus, it keeps food out of landfills. This is Mill, and it's truly the kitchen bin of the future. It's a really easy alternative to composting that has totally transformed my kitchen, and it looks incredible. I don't have to deal with rotting food ever, not in my trash or compost pail. Mill takes everything I don't eat, even meat and cheese, and grinds and dries it overnight. And it takes weeks to fill up. It's as sleek as your smartphone, and it's made from high-quality materials that are durable and easy to clean. The Mill bin is more than just a pretty
different.
All right, you guys, happy Wednesday, and congratulations to me. Congratulations are in order to me. I received my first legal letter of 2026. I would say that it took longer than expected, right? We are 20 days into January, yesterday at least, when I received it. I think that's a record. I'm proud of myself. And it's going to be a legal hump day in general because we need to discuss how I was right about Taylor Swift. I respect her. I think she's a savage. Taylor Swift is...
Justin Baldoni and, we ain't heard from them in a minute. Whoever that chick is. Don't get me lying. Whoever she is, this got to be... I thought that we had already had our legal letter from them anyway. What is this, an update? Because we ain't talked about y'all in a minute. That's why. Is that what it is? Go, Candace.
A first-class passenger. If the ship is going down, she's going to make it off. She's going to be in that first lifeboat. So, poor Justin Baldoni. Right. And lastly, let's stick with pop culture today and discuss Brooklyn Beckham, whose parents are dead to him now over a wedding dance that happened 4 years ago. Because I love rich people. I love rich people problems. And today, there are apparently a lot of them. So welcome back to Candace.
Ooh, I did not want to talk about no pop culture today. I could have found me something else to do. All that swerving.
I feel like I should receive an honorary law degree. I feel like I'm an expert now on legal matters. I've learned a lot about legal letters. Just over the last couple of years, last 3 years maybe, I've definitely learned that there is nothing quite like your first high, right? That first legal letter that you get. I mean, for me, after being sued by a sitting president of a foreign country whose husband would like to strangle me with his large bare hands, any other letter thereafter, it just doesn't do it. It's just not the same experience. I'm not excited anymore when Noah calls. I'm sorry, Noah, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry. It's less exciting for me this year. In order to feel what I felt when Trump called me over a first man pretending to be a lady, according to that, regarding that lady's penis, it's just going to take a lot more, to get me hyped, to get me amped. I would basically have to be sued now by Vladimir Putin over the Great Schism, seeking literal reparations. We'd have to repair it. Me and Mr. Putin would sit down, hash out the deals with the term Pope, patriarchs, over a millennium-old debate. That would make me get out of bed. But this Turning Point USA, a cease and desist. Is that what we're doing?
Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? You knew you was coming up. They had sent Wolves and Finance one. What you thought? You was too special? What you thought? You thought you was too special not to get one? Girl, stop playing. I called. I was like, okay, Turning Point, they on your ass. They on your ass. Yeah. What she dropped yesterday, she was talking about on the plane, hour late, hour before. What y'all doing? What y'all got going on? Yeah. We knew it. We knew it was coming up. Oh, we knew it was coming. Come on, because you're late. Get it together. You're late. We just got a legal letter from Turning Point USA. Get it together. Come on. Look, she loading. See what I mean? Oh my God. That is not me. My Wi-Fi is here.
Is this the chapter that we are on? Returning the chapter here to lawfare? Mm-hmm. This is what's left? You want us to believe this is Charlie's legacy? In the future, Turning Point USA is going to be thought of as the girl that peaked in high school. You know? Free market capitalism, open debate, prove me wrong. Now it's suddenly shut up and serve the new queen. That's what they want, right? So just to recap.
The new queen. She throwing shade. Oh, she's throwing shade. You better catch it. She's throwing shade. Shut up and serve this new queen. Okay, let me take my cap off because I be forgetting that I used that during pre-record videos. Apologize. Come on, forehead. Don't do that. Come on. Let her finish.
Our cultural cardinal rule number one is that it's gay to send a legal letter. It's very gay. You shouldn't do it. Especially you can just pick up the phone and call someone. People are open to changing their mind, open to being wrong. You just have to call someone. The vibe that sending out legal letter gives the internet in this day and age, it's changed, the vibes are changing, is my daddy is so rich, he can buy the world. I'm so rich. We are so rich. We can buy whatever we want. And so now we're just going to buy you and we're going to make people like us because we can afford it. We can buy social standing.
Scribe is how 4 million people turn processes into step-by-step guides. The hardest part of any job, I don't care where you work, is answering the same questions over and over. You're gonna wanna see this. That's why there's Scribe. Go to scribehow.com, click Capture, do the task once, and Scribe will create a step-by-step guide you can share automatically. Warning, they're gonna think you're a genius and ask you how you did it. Just say Scribe. Scribe instantly turns any workflow into a step-by-step guide, so you never have to explain it again. Go to scribehow.com and try it for free. You don't even need a credit card.
Come on.
Erica, Chairman, CEO, Erica, my girl. Heavy is the head that wears the crown after its rightful owner was deposed. Am I right? Am I right? Now, in terms of the legal letter's content, in case you are wondering, maybe you are assuming that their main point of contention is going to be other things that I've said.
Okay.
Well, let me actually cut here to Tim Dillon, because Tim Dillon made a joke. Maybe it wasn't really a joke after AmFest, and he insinuated that all they really care about is money. Remember this, what Tim Dillon said?
Yeah.
You feel it. It seems off. You feel like this is a coordinated and choreographed spectacle so that you are played. They want your money.
Okay.
That's what they got mad at Kansas.
Look at Kansas.
Yeah, no, keep playing that. Keep playing that out.
Don't cut them off. We just saw it.
I mean, you could keep playing that if you have it, but yeah.
They got mad at Kansas about it. They're like, why are you telling people not to give us money? She's also saying you killed the guy. Why are you mad about the money? They're just mad that they're not getting money.
Right.
They want your money. And they want to be celebrities.
Yeah. That you feel it. To build off of that, you feel it. The money thing matters to them. And I think that after we go through this legal letter, you're going to recognize that indeed it does seem to be the thing that they are number one most concerned about, is writing the allegation that there may be some quote-unquote financial impropriety, and they're quoting me, at Turning Point USA. So we obviously broke the story about Charlie establishing a Doge 7 days before he died. And it led a lot of the public to speculate. I would say this was common sense speculation, by the way, that there could have been something that made Charlie do that pertaining to the finances, because Elon Musk did a thing, right? We can go back and remember.
Shout out to Elon. Y'all don't want to give Elon his credit. We need to give a moment of silence to Elon. We need to give a moment of silence to Elon. Because, excuse me, you wouldn't know what a Doge was.
Musk and Vivek saying they had to get into the government.
Vivek!
When Trump was elected, we're going to establish this thing. We're going to look where all
I
the.
wasn't even a part of it. Like, I don't know. Something happened with Vivek. I know he wrote a book because he was promoting it over there on Vlad. But I didn't see him. Like, he was there, but I didn't really see him. Go ahead, my love.
That is, and this is financial impropriety. Federal government, right? The federal government has not been handling your tax dollars properly. So along comes Charlie, who decides to establish a Doge. And I guess we're supposed to believe that Doge is really about people going in there and going, no, it's so proper. It's so proper, actually, that we want to establish a Doge so we can just audit and see how amazing we are.
Right.
Charlie wanted to get in there and look through everything because everything was just clean as a whistle. And he wanted to maybe then give that audit report to other organizations so that they could learn how amazing and proper and above board everything was at Turning Point USA. Anyway, let's read the letter. And to give you some needed context before we jump in here, because you're going to go, what are they talking about with payments?
I do like that shirt. I just looked up and saw it. I saw it on the thumbnail, but it is nice.
Turning Point and I obviously had a long speaking arrangement, a speaking contract, which was still in effect when Charlie was assassinated. We've had a contract to speak going back to 2019, 2020. So obviously, given Charlie's assassination and the direction that my investigation took into what happened on that day, we moved to terminate that agreement, which was supposed to go on for another couple of years. So naturally, to give them credit, because this is a bit different from Wolves in Finance, them going after a YouTuber who has no relationship with them. Naturally, in any contract relation, there is standard NDA agreements that you come to. It's just kind of written in there. You're not going to disparage me. You're not going to defame me. And so they are, broadly speaking, making the allegation here at my investigation into who killed Charlie Kirk is naturally disparaging. And hey, you accepted our money, you took our money for years while Charlie Kirk was alive, so we're executing on this. You're not allowed to disparage us for another 12 months since we canceled that agreement. So the letter reads, and I'm Xing out the beginning parts that just says LLC names and stuff. And I'm also not going to reveal their lawyers' names. I don't think it's necessary. On video calls on December 4th, 2025, this was obviously pertaining to us ending our contract, our termination. We terminated our contract. And December 15th, I requested a retraction of Ms. Owens Farmer's disparaging statements and again provided notice that the injuries caused by her statements are substantial and continuing to accrue. Ms. Owens Farmer has declined to issue a retraction. To the contrary, she has stated that she, quote, doesn't feel any differently about people that she mentioned on the show, and she thinks that there are shady people at Turning Point USA. Yeah, so I guess I didn't know this, but I was supposed to, according to them, when we had that meaningful discussion, which I was appreciative that we had this open book discussion. I sat down with Erica and Justin Strife, but that I was supposed to come out and say they're amazing and nobody and everybody didn't do nothing. That's it. They're wonderful people. Why would I change my mind because we had a discussion? I came out and I told the truth and things that were answered, and actually what ended up happening was you conceded points to me. Anyways, it goes on. As a consequence, her statements are continuing to cause harm to Turning Point USA. We are currently working to calculate the full extent to date of the still accruing damages. Okay, so someone's with a calculator and they're calculating. I'm wondering if there's a spreadsheet running of the damage that's being done by Turning Point USA themselves. Like Andrew Colvett, if we're going to sue anybody, for accruing damages. Like if I'm running the company, I'd go with Andrew Colvett first. Brian Harpole, that's a lot happened there with that car crash interview.
The police officer at the scene told me to never sue the driver who crashed into me after my car accident.
Right.
I took his advice and got $100,000 for my accident without suing, without going to court.
Am I being punished because you lied?
Oh.
And I realized it or something, and somehow we have this contract that we've had for years, and now it's like, well, you're not allowed to see us do anything bad because remember we paid you. Goes on, in my December 2nd letter, I highlighted Ms. Owens' farmer's ongoing contractual obligation not to make any disparaging, false, misleading, or otherwise defamatory comments about Turning Point USA and or its employees, agents, directors, officers, affiliate programs, or services. See speaking agreement, blah, blah. Owens Farmer freely undertook this obligation in exchange for payment by support from and access to Turning Point USA. Her obligation remains in effect for 12 months following the term of her agreements, which were terminated on December 2nd, 2025. Since that letter, Turning Point USA's executives have repeatedly made themselves available via phone, text, and in-person meetings to provide information and documentation. That's just not true. I mean, I'm speaking to one person at Turning Point USA, and we had that sit down. To Ms. Owens Farmer in the hopes that providing her with the truth would get her to stop disparaging Turning Point USA in violation of the parties' contracts. Yet, notwithstanding the reminder that my letter provided to Ms. Owens Farmer of her obligations and the good faith efforts made by Turning Point USA's leadership to answer her many questions, she has continued to make statements in violation of her contractual obligations in a manner that is reckless, knowing, and intentional. For example, she has published a list of lies that she attributes to Turning Point USA, and she has stated that there is definitely financial impropriety at the company. Which lie on our Turning Point USA list of lies did they correct?
Uh-oh. Right.
Nothing. They gave an excuse for the lies. And I told the public about the excuse. They said Andrew went rogue. Andrew did this. I don't know why he said that. I don't know why they said that. They have conflicting answers about the drones. Brian Harpole says this. Andrew Colvett says this. Their lawyer says that. So what am I doing wrong by tracking that? Isn't the issue that you lied not the issue that the public noticed?
Right.
There's not a single thing that they cleared up that I then said, oh, okay, I just completely had that wrong on our list of lies. They conceded. Erica came out and said, Charlie had his phone. He never said the night before that he was afraid he was going to die. She said that on Glenn Beck. They then get in front of me. They say, okay, yeah, no, he did. I didn't know because it was in a special, app. Yeah, he also messaged Dan Flood. I didn't know because we're not talking to Dan Flood.
What?
Okay. What am I missing here? This next sentence sends me. She has claimed to know that there are people at Turning Point USA who are not good people and has suggested that Turning Point USA and TPUSA Faith have been infiltrated by military operatives. Yes, I do know there are people at Turning Point USA who are not good people. I stand by that. It's the truth. I specifically said Tyler Boyd was a sexual deviant. I stand by that. It's the truth. Turning Point USA Faith, the military. I'm sorry I looked up these people. I'm sorry that Rob McCoy is out there defending somebody who went to prison for molesting kids. The issue is I noticed, again, where is the lie that I have told? Let's see if we're going to get to it. Moreover, it continues, she has accused a Turning Point USA employee of being intentionally evasive in an effort to clear Erica Kirk's name, specifically as to whether Ms. Kirk was at Fort Huachuca in or around an alleged secret meeting that Ms. Owens Farmer has linked to Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now, I told the truth. I said that I requested this multiple times over weeks, and each time I was given an excuse. That's just the truth. I was told she was really busy, and then she popped up at a game, and I said, hey, can I get something? And they sent me something that wasn't what I asked for. So that's just the truth. And then said that it was on me last week because I had my son's birthday and family in town that I was going to send you a screen record of what I actually wanted. And I said, maybe it's because there's a third party there. It's not clear. But to date, they haven't sent me what I asked for. So I told the truth. In short, Ms. Owens Farmers has not put an end to what she has expressly admitted to be a flood of allegations against people at Turning Point USA, people at Turning Point Action, and people who work for the Charlie Kirk Show. Yeah, I'm sorry, Andrew Colvett sucks. my December 2nd letter, it continues, emphasize that Ms. Owens Farmer must cease her disparaging comments. And this letter reiterates that obligation that includes, in part, ceasing to state or imply that Turning Point USA and or its employees, agents, directors, officers, affiliates, programs, or services played any part in Mr. Kirk's assassination. Ms. Owens Farmer must not state or imply that Turning Point USA and or its employees, agents, directors, officers, affiliates, programs, or services knew about the assassination beforehand, participated in the assassination day of, or covered up the truth about the assassination after the fact.
Ooh, they being real specific,
Okay.
ain't they?
I'm about to reveal a snoring fix that most women over 40 don't know. This is what your throat looks like when you're snoring. You want to take your throat from this to this.
That's it. That's the guts of the letter. Now, I've been very clear that there's only one reason, again, kill me for having common sense, that people lie. Why do people lie? Because they're covering something up. There's no other reason to lie, actually. I mean, you could be pathological, I suppose. You could just do it for funsies. But when you consistently tell lies, it's usually because you're covering up something. Even if it's a small lie, my kid tells a little fib, because they're covering up something that they don't want you to find out, right? So because Turning Point USA is lying, it is a totally fair and reasonable assessment that they are engaged in a cover-up. Now, are they protecting one another? Their mistakes that they made? Are they trying to protect the organization because they know there are some bad eggs? Loyalty to one another because they knew each other, going back a decade, blackmail. Who know? I can't tell you why, but I can say that when people lie, it's because they're engaged in a cover-up, and that is something I'm going to stick by, an opinion I'm going to stick by, actually.
Let's go.
So now, regarding the broader point about financial impropriety, which being financially improper is not a crime. Right? If you have a charity and actually only 1 cent out of $1 actually goes to what you say it's going to go to, it's not illegal, right? I'm not saying that's the case for Turning Point USA. We've barely covered their finances, actually. But I think that what they want is your money. So I'll make amends. Everybody watching, give all of your money to Turning Point USA. They are amazing. They are above board. They do nothing wrong. They're not focused on money. They just want yours. If you are watching this, please, if you have a 401k, consider giving that to Turning Point USA. If you're watching this, please, if you're saving up to take your kids to a theme park, instead think about parking that money with Stacey Sheridan and Tyler Boyer. And Erica Kirk at Turning Point USA. If you've got a grandma and she's frail and she's sick, consider rewriting her will and giving it to Turning Point USA. It will go to a
I like her little mind games that she's playing right now, okay? Let's just call it what it is.
good cause. There's always a need for more pyrotechnics. If you are, trying to pay down your credit card, maybe don't do that. And give.
No, I'm trying to pay
do
my
monthly
credit cards, please. Why would she bring it up? Oh, the PTSD, Lord. Why would she bring up credit cards? She know doggone well I'm trying to pay down my credit cards. Oh, she know doggone well I'm trying to pay down my credit cards. It's not my fault that these groceries so expensive. It is not my fault.
Instead to Turning Point USA. And they are nothing they've ever done has been financially improper. It's crazy that anyone would say that. In fact, they are the most proper organization in the world. Israel's the most moral army in the world, and Turning Point USA is the most financially proper organization in the world. And if you want to know how proper they are, they're sitting around they've got a legal team to ensure that good things are said about the finances, which I think I've covered on this show like a couple of times. The thrust of this is looking into the people that are taking over Turning Point USA, their backgrounds, and I'm going to continue to be honest about that.
Oh, thank you.
I said to my lawyer, here's what we're actually going to do with the turning point. What are you going to do? How are you going to reply to this, right? Could they make a thing out of this? Because technically you do have that non-disparagement clause. You have it for 12 months since the contract was officially terminated. Yeah, there's also things known in contract law as unforeseeable circumstances when you sign an agreement. And when I signed an agreement to go on tour with Charlie Kirk, I think it would be fair to argue that his assassination, his public assassination, was an unforeseeable circumstance. In fact, I signed on the dotted line to work beside Charlie Kirk because he built a company that I believed in.
What is my favorite way to relax? Oh, I don't know. What is my favorite way to relax? I like to snuggle up in the bed in some sheets, watch me a good YouTube movie.
And now everything that company seems to be about runs counter to my belief. In fact, there are strong contractual arguments to be made about unconscionable clauses. I would say it would be unconscionable for me to choose silence in the wake of Charlie Kirk's public assassination. It is unconscionable. I actually don't need a judge to decide on that. I don't need a judge to decide on that because the ultimate judge is in heaven. And I told you guys that you'd have better luck from keeping the sun rising into the sky than to try to keep me from investigating Charlie Kirk's assassination. In other words, Turning Point USA, you'd have better luck suing the Sun. Get your lawyer to send a cease and desist to the Sun, and you will have better luck in terms of getting it to stop than from getting me to look away to what happened to Charlie. That's how I feel, okay? And you can just take that as a fact, take it to the bank, do what you have to do, get your donors, and I'm sure you've got a lot of them to fund, whatever it is. But I told my lawyer, here's what you do, go back to them and say, how much money do you want? This contract stuff is just, it's done, guys. This whole thing of contracting people so that you can be a bad person and getting a lawyer to agreement times, it's done, it's over, it's dead on arrival. Name your price, Turning Point USA. How much would you like? Would you like all of your money back? What's it worth? What's it worth to you, actually? I want to know the number because I'm going to go online, start a GoFundMe, and raise it overnight. That's how much people care about getting to the truth. So you're going to see how much live, how much people actually care about learning what happened on September 10th. There are things that you should value above money in life. My God is not money. Okay, I don't worship money. I do worship.
Why I get triggered when someone gives me unsolicited advice. When I was younger, it came mainly from family, whether it was like a family member telling me where I should go to school, what career I should have. And then as I got older, it appeared in a little more subtle ways.
Worship truth. And I would like to know truthfully what took place on September 10th. And if I have a platform, which is not my platform, actually it's God's platform, if I have a platform and I can get to the truth of that, I'm gonna use it for those purposes. So just name your price. How much money do you want in your pocket to release me from this contract? Think about it and email us back. We'll be right back after a break. All right, you guys, thanks to you, last year Preborn helped rescue over 80,000 babies, and today you can help save even more. Every single day, thousands of women hear the same devastating lie, that abortion is their only option, that they're alone, and that there's no hope. But everything changes the moment a mother in crisis walks into a Preborn network clinic and sees her baby on an ultrasound. That one moment doubles her chance of choosing life. It's not just an image on a screen. They realize after they hear that baby's precious heartbeat for the very first time that it's life. And in that moment, she recognizes that it's growing inside of her, and it is not a problem that simply needs to be solved. It's a life that needs to be protected. Let's be there for her in that beautiful moment with love, prayer, and support. For just $28, you can provide one life-saving ultrasound, and $140 provides 5 ultrasounds and 5 chances for life. This year, let's make it the biggest baby-saving year in history. Take a stand, be bold, speak for those who can't speak for themselves. To donate, dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby, or visit preborn.com/Candace. Again, that's preborn.com/Candace. Also want to tell you guys about Magisterium AI. There is a war on truth right now. You feel it and I feel it. And the biggest weapon that they have is the algorithm. Rewriting history, redefining morality to fit a broken secular agenda that has completely erased God from the conversation. That's why I use Magisterium AI. This isn't just about the past. This is also about how to live right now. I'm talking about the toughest questions that you face, questions about suffering, marriage, and the purpose of life. And unlike the other AIs out there, Magisterium AI actually brings the receipts, meaning that every single answer is backed by original sources, citations that you can click and verify for yourself. I'm talking about 2,000 years of wisdom from the saints, the popes, and the fathers of the church. It's a knowledge base that grows daily from their exclusive digitized work inside the pontifical universities in Rome. It's the #1 Catholic answer engine in the world for a reason. If you want to discover the intellectual depth and the peace that I have found in the Catholic faith, start here. Go to magisterium.com/Candace or download the app for free on iOS or Android. Use my discount code Candace to upgrade to Pro, and you'll get 25% off your first year. That's $2.99 per month, peace and purpose for the price of a cup of coffee. It's a no-brainer. Visit magisterium.com/Candace. Charles James Kirk was worth more. His life was worth more than every red.
That's what threw me off too, because it was MLK, then it was JFK, and then when I looked up Charlie, it was, what is it, CJK, CGK, Charlie, Charles James. Did she say James? CJK. I was like, wow, that's so. It was one of the moments, because that Charlie Kirk hit different. Who was I talking about him? Barron yesterday? Barron Comer? It just hit different. I don't know what it was. It just hit, but I think it was because, we in that TikTok era. And, we in that Instagram. What they got over there on Instagram? The Reels. And then that Facebook era, YouTube era. We just hit a different era of content. And it just, now we're able to voice our opinion and really let them know, we didn't like that. We didn't like that. We didn't like what y'all did to Charlie Kirk. I'm like, JFK, that ain't had nothing to do with us. MLK, ooh. Didn't they just settle that lawsuit last year before last, or something like that? Was that him or was that Malcolm? I think that was MLK. So you see what I mean? Oh, don't get me started on Malcolm, Lord. I'm like, y'all
Penny that Turning Point USA ever paid me. Prove me wrong, Turning Point. Prove me wrong. Name your price. We'll get it.
Yeah.
New energy. Just new energy coming in 2026.
It's the shirt. I think it's the shirt. With that gold button at the top and that collar. Ooh. With that splash tie-dye type. Ooh, I don't know what it is. It looked like it came off of a canvas. Come on.
Feel it. It feels like the old guard is dying, like the Epstein world that Tim Dillon was discussing, the way that these people behave, lawsuits that they think allow them to be a bad person. It was the very reason that last year I became obsessed. That was another, we just got to kind of peek and go, oh my, were we ever liking people in Hollywood? How did we ever find these people to be funny? We started realizing how they behave. How are we glorifying these people? It made us spiritually sick. Looking at the Justin Baldoni case, I couldn't believe it. It was just Mean Girls, Blake Lively, never told.
Blake Lively, I couldn't get it for nothing.
Oh, very bratty, wanted some publishing rights because that's what happened. And when she was told, no, you can't take this over, she said, oh, I don't, nobody tells me no. I've never been told no my whole life. And her husband conspired, brought in the big guns, Taylor Swift. And I told you guys, another coin in the Candace was right jar. I said, let me tell you something about Taylor Swift. She's going to survive this. I've been watching Taylor her whole career. I know how she gets down. If you guys have my book, Make Him a Sandwich, I have a whole chapter.
I ain't got it yet. Just don't spoil it, because I ain't got it yet. And first of all, let me look it up real quick, because I know doggone well. I think Amazon got it. Go on over there to Take Two and be nosy. Let me see what it is. Where she at? No, scoot it over so I can see. Make Him a Sandwich. Get off of the images. Big nosy. Candace Owens. I think if you buy it from her, let me see. Cause oh my, Candace should be a motherfucking ashamed of herself. She should be ashamed of herself. I'm finna scroll down because I saw it first. And you know, don't forget, if you buy both of them signed, it's $249. That is just so disrespectful. But let me show y'all who don't let me log into my account now. Child, let me go over here to Thrift Books. I will log into my account. Let me see if they have it, cause they'll go and buy it. Look, my kind of price. My kind of praise. Get all out my business so I can log in real quick. I'm gonna save it. Hold on, I gotta go and I gotta find the Give me a second. I gotta find the password. Okay. Let me log in. Just and then I'm gonna just save it real quick. What's the email address that I use for this? I'll save it. And then what's the okay. Show it to me. Let me see if I spelled everything correct. Okay. That's me. Okay, come on back, big nosy. Let me see. Don't be all in my business. Don't be all in my business. All that based on your purchase and all that. Go back to Candace. Let me see. Okay. Okay. You know, we be over here on Thrift Books. This is where we order our books from. This is what we got independent from. Speaking of, what is this? What was that? The power of what? Oh, the power of your subconscious mind. My bad. I thought we had something different. I already got it. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Look at Edgar. School over so we can see. T. Harv. The power. The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Okay, let me go find it. And then I'm gonna save it. Now to be clear, I don't want to add it. I just want to save it. Now to be clear, she did say that, and it is hardcover and it is new, but this is for Look at Suzanne ass over here talking about, I found exactly the book. We get it, ma'am. Over there on Trustpilot. It's signed. Why are you at the wish list? Why are you trying to? And then I got Kamala over there too. I got Kamala. And then there go Tony, because he over there awakened the giant within, because they've been pushing him, Tony Robbins. And then of course we have the power of positive thinking. That's the theme for 2026, so we'll get it. And then we have the power of now, which is Eckhart Tolle. He's great. That's all on the wish list. But Thrift Books has Make 'em a Sandwich, $22. And we got Apple Pay. It don't get no better than that. I think it's only Walmart, Sonics, and that Marco's that's just taking forever to enter into the digital world, the digital wallet. Marco still wants you to type in that credit card number. Walmart still wants you to have all your cards with you, but I do like the fact that you can split pay on your own with the Walmart self checkout. I do like that, but What they said, they want you to use the app. Don't get me
Taylor Swift, just documenting the things that she does. You got to give credit where credit is due. She's first class on the Titanic, okay? A lot of times thought it was going to sink, and then Tree, her agent, is like, nope, cut that friend off. We're going to save you. And the closest we got to seeing the real Tay-Tay is when I said, okay, I see what she is, was the Kanye West situation way back when. You remember that whole saga? Kanye called her up and asked her about using her name in a verse, to all my South Side N-words that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. And then he says, I made that B-I-T-C-H famous. I made that B-I-T-C-H famous. And then her fans reacted when this dropped and was like, oh my, no, you're a feminist, this is so wrong. And then Taylor Swift came out and actually Tree, her PR, the woman that's a savage that runs the whole thing, said this is a lie. She never heard this song, never happened. And turns out that Kanye had video of it, and Kim Kardashian, who I don't even like, just started dropping the receipts, and you see that he called her. And she got...
Ooh, don't try to go
Excuse me? How do you read so many books at your age?
What do you mean at my age? Do I look that old? Maybe I need to take these off.
No, you don't look...
A little close to the sun there, and then she issued a statement and said, it wasn't actually the first sentence about having sex that bothered me, it was the B-I-T-C-H word. This was her statement. I'm going to remind you because now it's coming in relevance. Where is the video of Kanye telling me that he was going to call me that bitch in his song? It doesn't exist because it never happened. You don't get to control someone's emotional response to being called that bitch in front of the entire world. So then it was like, oh, that was the issue. The B word. Don't say that because she's a feminist. And it didn't seem honest to me. Well, this is interesting. Because now this Justin Baldoni thing has happened and Taylor Swift has been pulled into it. And she said, bye-bye, Blake, goodbye forever.
She said it.
But now her messages are out, and it turns out that Taylor Swift called Justin Baldoni a B-I-T-C-H with a tiny violin, and she knew that Blake Lively was going to file that sexual harassment complaint to get these publishing rights, take over the movie. TMZ's like, ooh, this doesn't look great for Taylor. Because remember her story, she was like, I just walked into the apartment. Justin Baldoni was there, had nothing to do with anything. And I felt compelled to suddenly comment on the scripts. I was being set up. I'm the victim too. And I'm going to give her a little bit of credit. There's a little bit of truth here. What we learn when you get into the nitty gritty is that she was on her way to the apartment, but while she was on the way, Blake did text her over the script, the scene that she wanted to be replaced, and she basically said, when you get here, review this, let's gang Justin Baldoni and make him feel pressured. Exactly.
Listen, let me tell you something about Taylor Swift. It's a side story. I wish I could find a video. I just wish I could find a video. There's this AI video. I remember seeing it on WorldStar one time. There's this AI video that was made. I don't know who made it, but it was real dope. And it had like Trump in there. I think this was when he was chilling with, it could have been Elon, if I'm not mistaken. It had like Kamala. I think she was like drinking in the car, smoking a cigarette, like doing something crazy. It just had like a whole bunch of celebrities, right? And then it had Taylor Swift. I think it had Mark Zuckerberg. Everybody. This was legit. Everybody, all the A-listers, right? And it had this it had this part where it panned to Taylor. It was real quick. I'm talking about you had to catch it because it was real quick. And it had Taylor. She wasn't doing anything fancy or anything like that. But what ended up happening was you saw like this blow, this gust of air where and when I look back, I realized that they did it intentionally, where they blew this breeze, like blew in her face, right? And it blew her bangs up. and it showed how big that forehead is. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I've never seen Taylor Swift's forehead. Now, all you have to do, I promise you, all you have to do, right, is type in Taylor Swift. All you have to do is type in Taylor Swift, right? Just go up to the images. Look, just go. We're just gonna scroll. Let me move you up so you can get all that unnecessary stuff out of the way. I'll fix it when I get back over there to Candace. Go on, get out the way. And all we got to do is just scroll. All we have to do is just scroll. Bang, 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 bang. Let me scroll it over a little bit. Bang, side bang, front bang, middle bang, 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 bang. I knew I wasn't tripping because it threw me off. I'm like, I don't think I ever seen her face either. She is obsessed. Look. And that forehead. Now, I have a big forehead, so of course I'm not making it a big deal. Trust me, I'm not. But I realize I've never seen her face, her forehead. Now, obviously, she has a big forehead. We all do when you think about it. Like, bang, bang, bang.
As Justin Baldoni described it. And she did it. So did she have a ton of heads up about it going into the department? No. But she had enough of a heads up that she knew she was going to play her role. And she replied to Blake Lively, and she's like, yeah, I got you, girl. Let's do this. And she's joking with Blake Lively behind the scenes about how, well, Justin was smart. Justin was smart. He wouldn't even allow you to include me in anything because he knows that basically, you know, we're going to take this thing over. Like this is basically going to give us an effective majority if Taylor Swift is involved. Because Taylor Swift has a lot of fans. She knows how to use the army. You read the chapter in my book, you will never unsee it. She's good. You got to credit where credit's due, okay? And yeah, she did. She texted Blake Lively in early December of 2024 regarding the New York Times hit piece that was coming out. And she said, quote, I think this BITCH knows something is coming because he's got out his tiny violin. So she's watching him. He's emotional. We knew that he ended up in a hospital. He was so stressed out by everything. Sony execs, by the way, fully backing up Justin Baldoni's side, describing Blake Lively as a terrorist in text messages. Like a terrorist. She just basically signed him out of line to take over the movie. That was it. She wanted the movie and the movie rights. And she just shows who Taylor Swift is. That's fine. I'm still going to bop to London, boy, because I know what she is. So I could take her music and bop to it, but also not buy into the brand of feminism and like nice girls marching together. And it's interesting to see where this has gone. I think a lot of people are like, I can't believe it. I'm so surprised to see this. Not even listening to my podcast. Not even listening to my podcast. And so it looks like this is going to keep going on. And I think we're going to there's a lot of paperwork that I still have to read through. But just my immediate feedback on, you know, Taylor Swift being more involved than people thought. I mean, come on, guys. It's Taylor. Taylor didn't get to where Taylor is because she's an idiot. Okay? She's not an idiot. And she was smart to pull back from Blake when Tree put her head up, realized which way the wind was blowing, and said, we gotta evacuate Taylor's brand from Blake's immediately. So she's going to survive this. Now, this next story, I have to give you guys my opinion on. If you are not following, you're seeing all the headlines about Brooklyn Beckham, who is, I think he's the firstborn son of Victoria Posh Spice Beckham, David Beckham, the football player, much adored family unit, obviously. They have made their family, the closeness of their family, very much a brand. And they're loved from England to here.
I'm trying not to cry. I hate suffering. I've suffered myself, and so I hate to see anybody suffer, and so I'm unbelievably driven to end suffering where I can to help anyone do that, whether it be hunger or emotional hunger or depression.
And
it was raspy.
American women, we are starting to get a little bit of a reputation, right? Wallis Simpson goes over. The king abdicates the throne. She was like, I think she was an American. Was she an actress, Wallis Simpson? I can't remember. Abdicates the throne. It causes this massive scandal, right? Meghan Markle goes over there, and Prince Harry abdicates England. Causes this whole race kerfluffle. Now we've got Nicola Peltz, who is another American actress, and she goes over there, and what is she doing? Now Brooklyn Beckham doesn't speak to his two brothers. He doesn't speak to his sister, who's 14, by the way. It's very sad. He doesn't speak to his mother, father. They've unfollowed them on Instagram, and he's blocked his family. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is an incredibly interesting set of circumstances. It's interesting because of the reasons that he gives for doing this, right? And the manner that he did this, he just blasts it out onto his Instagram stories, which we're going to read through. But to give you the background, when everyone sort of saw this riffraff happening and him and his brother suddenly hating each other, and everyone's kind of leaking into the press, Nicola's leaking to the New York Post and about friction that he has with the brothers, whatever, people were like, is this really over a wedding dress? We knew a kerfluffle happened at this billionaire wedding, which pertained to a dress, okay? Nicola wanted her dress allegedly to be designed by Victoria Beckham. For some reason, that fell through. And she instead, I hope you're sitting to hear this, she had to get her wedding dress designed by Valentino Couture. Oh my gosh, the horror. And so whatever happened at this wedding, this was the beginning, and it got so bad that he moved. And this was kind of when it got really ugly. Last August, he decided to have a secondary wedding without any of the Beckhams. So this wedding was 4 years ago, and then some 3-4 years later, he decides, me and Nicola are going to get married again, this time without my own family, because this dress kerfluffle. We were like, could this really be about a dress? Well, lo and behold, Brooklyn Beckham decides to blast his parents, and it's amazing what he says here. We're just going to read his stories.
I don't want to talk about this today. I thought that we was going to continue. Ooh. I could have been editing videos or something. I didn't sign up for pop culture today. But let me see what she's talking about, because now it's irritating me about this wedding dress 4 years ago. Here you go. Well, we going to have another one, and we ain't going to invite nobody. We went to the first one. Like, okay, it took you 4 years to, like,
see what life is like on the other side. Because maybe you woke up today and you're wondering, what's it like to wake up and just have so many millions, like Turning Point USA, that you can just have lawyers fire off legal letters all day. Maybe you woke up and you said, what's it like to have so many millions that you can be like Blake Lively and just have your husband try to steal publishing rights from someone. Maybe you're thinking that these stories will help you. It's a guide to being rich and having nothing to do.
Ooh.
Brooklyn writes, I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies that have been printed. I do not want to reconcile with my family. Okay, I'm locked in. I'm like, oh crap, we're gonna find out, like, for real, like, they're dead to you. What could your family do that they're dead to you? Like, whoa, okay, I'm locked in. I'm on his side. And he goes, I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life, for my entire life. My parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. Okay, yeah, you're like 18. You just got married. Well, how young was he? You got married 23? Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like, you were living in their house. Why would you be speaking to the press? What have you done? You have two famous parents. Okay, let's keep going. He writes, the performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life that I was born into. And by life, he means of extraordinary wealth and privilege. And regarding inauthentic Instagram posts, welcome to Instagram. Welcome to social media, my friend. Have you scrolled through your own feed? You and your wife. I love you, baby. I love you. You're so perfect. I love you more. I love you, my sprinkle poo bear baby. Boop boobs. I love you. It's a piece of baby. It's wonderful. I love you. And now you're posting and you're about to tell us that you have debilitating anxiety? Yeah. Welcome to social media. Everyone's posting the highlights. Because recently I have seen with my own eyes the lengths that they will go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out. My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it has not stopped. My mom canceled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour, despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Somebody then pulled up a receipt, and her dress was in the making for a year, so I don't know what he considers to be the 11th hour. But this feels like champagne problems a little to me. Like I want these problems in life. We go on.
If you're in your 30s, this one's for you. Salon gels are so damaging, and regular nail polish chips after just a couple of
weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a sign away his rights to his name.
Okay, you're putting this on Instagram. You gotta drop the contracts now, because my guess is like your dad and mom have maybe owned the Beckham brand, and they're trying to make sure that that's protected away from whatever you and Nicola. I'm guessing this is normal, but just so you know, if you live in a family where the rights to your name are discussed ahead of a wedding, you're doing great, my friend. You are doing so
beat money. Give me my name back. I don't know what y'all got going on. I love it. I absolutely love it. I absolutely. Now I wasn't here for it at the beginning, because I'm like, ugh, pop culture. Ugh. We was trying so hard to get away from it. But I'm like, oh, that is big money. That is big money. Let me get my name back, because whatever y'all got going on, go do, be, bye-bye. But you're gonna have to leave that name on your way out the door. Go on and leave it. Ooh, big money.
Good.
Big money.
Toast to some more champagne problems. Oh, I dread having the discussion.
Oh my God. Oh, this poor living. Jeez. Down here with the peasants, while you over here bitching on Instagram about, they want me to sign over my name. Give me that bang.
With my family
to do with that anyway. Give me
rights to my name ahead of the wedding. He said they were adamant on me signing before my wedding date. Yeah, that makes legal sense, my friend. Because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since.
Wait, hold on. They were adamant on me signing before, because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. What deal? My holdout, okay, so you was skeptical, you were hesitant about signing before, affected the payday. What payday now? So they were paying you to get your name, to get their name back, and they have never treated me the same since. Okay, so you didn't sign your name over, or because he said my holdout affected the payday. So you didn't, or you waited a long time, and then you realized, well, I need the money, so I might as well go ahead. And then, since you took so long, they was like, ugh, he's not one of us. Oh, I'm just curious to know how did we get to this point though? Now I'm trying to figure out, how is it that you got married and then somehow your name became a big issue? Oh, I'm invested.
Hey man, this is not that relatable. Just delete those sentences. It's not that relatable. It's like my trust fund would have been impacted.
Look,
I've never had a job.
Look,
but if I had signed this paperwork, my trust fund would have been implicated.
Look. What
Goes on during the wedding, my mom went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny Sandra and Nicole's nanny, that's two grandparents, at our table because they both didn't have their husbands. Both of our parents had their own table equally adjacent to ours. So
wait, okay, so y'all was sitting and then you had your grandma and she had her grandma and then they was over there. Oh, okay, because the grandmas didn't have their husbands. And so your mama and your daddy was over there, and then her mama and her daddy was over there. And then they was mad about that? Oh, your mama called you evil because she couldn't sit with you. Oh,
to recap this basic every wedding seating chart problem.
Okay.
He's like, my mom was upset because she wasn't seated at the head table. Yeah, Brooklyn, just so you know, in most weddings, the parents are seated at the head table. You're her first son. You're getting married. Did she get a little spicy and say, this is evil? Please put me at the head table. This is not a problem that is worth saying your parents are dead to you over. This is not a problem for saying you don't want to reconcile with your whole family over. It's a gown and a seating chart, buddy. You are not suffering. Yeah, your mom wanted to sit at the head table.
Whoop-de-doo.
Faint. Color me shocked. I can't believe it. She sounds like a monster. What kind of mother? Nicola, he goes on, wore a custom Valentino hot.
Drop your kitchen scraps in here instead of here, and you'll never have to deal with nasty trash. Plus, it keeps food out of landfills. This is Mill, and it's truly the kitchen bin of the future. It's a really easy alternative to
Oh, yeah, this is a little factoid. Yeah, so she won this gown. Okay, he goes on and he writes, the night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. Oh, did your brother say something crappy about your wife? Okay, at my wedding, I'm not even kidding. The best man at the wedding, my husband's best friend, said during our dress rehearsal, he said, I give it 5 years. He said to me, I said, okay, bet. Yeah, we got engaged for 18 days. He was half joking. And now that we're 7 years married, every time I see him, I'm like, I was, how much do you owe me? Yeah, okay, you get to know the family. Did your younger brother say she's not blood, not family before you got married? Are you really putting this on Instagram? This is like such a basic family feud that it's absurd that you are flaming your mom and dad over what everybody goes through. You know, suddenly you're married into a family, you gotta all get to know each other, and there are some growing pains. Goes on, since the moment that I started standing up for myself with my family, I've received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly, that were sent to the press on their orders. No evidence of that. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this last summer. My mom hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance, to a romantic love song. In front of our 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage, wherein the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife, but instead, my mom was waiting to dance with me. And she danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I have never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life. We wanted to renew our vows so that we could create new memories of our wedding day that bring us joy and happiness and not anxiety and embarrassment. So this was the big part. Because I said, oh, okay, no, like you're telling me your mom hijacked your first dance and Mark Anthony called her to the stage? Like that's actually horrific. I was like, okay, what's going on here? I'll tell you what's going on, guys. This was actually their third dance. Okay. You get into the nitty-gritty. You then look at what actually happened, and it was all on Vogue. Vogue obviously covered the wedding. This is how billionaire weddings go. And it tells you in the Vogue article that they had multiple dances. So typically at a wedding, you do the first dance, then there's a band, then there's like the late night party. Well, Marc Anthony was the late night party. He started at 11 p.m. This was an all-day wedding. So Vogue tells us that after the ceremony, guests mingled over cocktails, decorated with seasonal white cherry blossoms as a jazz quartet played. Then a 12-piece live band took over the entertainment for the black tie dinner in the wedding tent, which had been decorated by HMR Designs with garden roses layered with peonies, petite white ranunculus spray roses. In addition to traditional speeches, including those from Brooklyn Best Men, his brothers, Romeo and Cruz, the father of the groom, David Beckham, delivered a heartfelt tribute to his eldest son and his new daughter-in-law. When dinner, which was masterminded by Thierry Isombot Culinary, and the event design was over, the newlyweds had their first dance to Only Fools Rush In, which was performed by rising South African artist Loizo. Then the friends then joined the young couple on the dance floor. Another dance reflected Brooklyn and Nicola's respective showbiz worlds, as well as famous members of the Beckham family's inner circle, the celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay, his family, everyone's dancing. And then it tells us that Marc Anthony took over the DJ decks to close out the celebrations. So to be clear, according to people that were at the wedding, they had their first dance, and then she had a dance with her father, and then her and Brooklyn had some other dance, and then late night started at 11 p.m. And I'm going to assume that people were feeling a little saucy. Because usually at 11 p.m. at a wedding, nothing counts after 11 p.m. at a wedding. Nothing really counts after 9 p.m. at a wedding. But Nicola didn't have enough me time. And apparently, and I don't doubt this part, they said that Marc Anthony said, now I'm inviting the most beautiful woman to the floor. And then he said Victoria Beckham. Marc Anthony is a Latino man. Okay? Who is expecting? Have you ever been to a Latino wedding, Nicola Peltz? Have you ever been to any Latino event? And you're expecting that man to recall what he said at 11 p.m. at a party? No, absolutely not. This is ridiculous. Marc Anthony is actually the victim here. We are out here flaming Marc Anthony for being true to his Latino roots. He has no idea what he said. Victoria Beckham, do I think she was a little sloshed by 11 p.m.? Yeah, I do. I think she was. I think when she got on the dance floor at 11 p.m., maybe people forgot the order and you had your beautiful third dance planned or something. Whatever. And then everyone just wanted to party. Okay, it was enough you all day, probably. That's the part of the wedding where people just want to have fun. And they didn't know you were going to run off and cry. And nobody knew you were crying, and now people are confused. And yeah, I bet Vicky B was boogieing, and I bet she became Cardi B, and she was all over the place. But this is what you're ending the relationship over. She didn't steal the first dance. She didn't steal the second dance. And Marc Anthony cannot be accountable after 11 p.m. That's my opinion. I don't think it's fair to Marc Anthony. I am team Marc Anthony. I think he was 3 caipirinhas deep. That's what I think. He had 4 caipirinhas, 2 shots of tequila. He made a little joke with his friend, and Nicola Peltz, who's never been told no, just ran off.
Watch how this Italian method stopped my snoring at 55. My husband said I'm like in my 20s again.
This is what your throat looks like when you're snoring. You want to take your throat from this to this. No strips? No strips.
So the last part of his statement to his family says, my wife has been consistently disrespected by my family no matter how hard we have tried to come together as one. My mom has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that clearly were intended to make us both uncomfortable. He's referring to the fact that his brother was dating a girl that Nicola didn't like because she heard that, I don't know, I guess maybe he went on a date with her years ago. And so she didn't want this girl invited to any events. And obviously the mom's like, okay, well, she's dating my other son. And Nicola decides that she gets to also plan your events. And I guess she's insecure. It's her husband. Why do you care? I could literally be best friends with any, would I be no? I could bake cookies with any of George's exes. I just don't care. He's my husband. There's no insecurity there. Why do you care? What are you doing? This is a high school relationship pretending to be a marriage. That's what's wrong here. Then he complains that despite this, we still traveled to London for my dad's birthday. And we were rejected for a week as we waited in our hotel room trying to plan quality time with him. Yeah, you didn't want to go to his birthday party because you didn't like the invite list. And then you wanted him to carve out special time for you. You missed your dad's 50th birthday because Nicola was making demands. He rightfully refused all of our attempts, he says, unless it was at his big birthday party. Listen to him. I mean, they're just so spoiled. He refused all of our attempts to do what we wanted for his birthday. He said, come to the big 50th birthday party that we're planning with hundreds of guests and cameras at every corner. Like your wedding? And when he finally agreed to see me, it was under the condition that Nicola wasn't invited because he probably wanted to slap you. Seriously, he probably just wanted to slap you and tell you that you are out of your mind, spoiled right now, and you are someone he doesn't recognize. Conversation man to man. Then he says later, when my family traveled to LA, they refused to see me at all. His family values public promotion and endorsements above all else. Brand Beckham comes first. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media, or how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo, even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations. We have gone out of our way for years to show up and to support at every fashion show, every party, and every press activity to show our perfect family. But the one time that my wife asked for my mom's support to save displaced dogs during the LA fires, my mom refused. No, Brooklyn, I refuse. I actually refuse to think that people like you and your wife exist. Your wife, who has a very long record of being unbearable. Okay, that's the reality. Just, you know, running counter to this, he apparently sent his family maybe a cease and desist, whatever you want to call it, a legal letter, telling them that if they wanted to contact him, they now need to go through his lawyer. Where is he learning that behavior from? Well, Nicola, it's what she does. It's a thing. She sues people over and over again when she doesn't get what she wants. She sues them because she experiences anxiety if she's told no, and she sues them when she wants to deal with her emotions. Case in point, a lawsuit that's currently going through the court system where her old dog, she had an old dog, a Chihuahua. She called for a van to come. You know, like on the go, we can wash your dog in the van on your own property so you can sit here and watch us wash your dog. And the dog's old, and after the dog got cleaned, the dog came in and was anxious because, I think if a stranger takes your dog into a van, they might be anxious. And when you get anxious when you're older, there's a chance that you might have a heart attack. It's not great, is what I'm saying. Anyways, Nicola says that her dog was all weird and came in, and hours later they rushed the dog to the hospital, and later on the dog died. And so she's been suing. She's been suing this place that literally just cleans dogs. This is a real picture she posted. Now, I know you're thinking, well, didn't Brooklyn just say that the Beckhams were performative? Well, there's Nicola, and they're holding hands and crying as she buries her dog in, that looks expensive. That's just saying that looks expensive. In general, that's fine. She has the money. She can do what she wants. She has been suing them. She then alleged that maybe a dog she recognized, another dog, a French bulldog that she had from 2021, probably was also injured, and she hired Marty Singer. She hired Marty Singer to sue this little company because her Chihuahua died. They got the autopsy, and it turns out the dog had what Chihuahuas get a lot of, which is fluid in the brain. And that's very typical for Chihuahuas and small dogs. They build up fluid and they die. And she is saying that this happened because actually she realized that this company, they're serial killers. They're serial dog killers. So update everything, guys. You know, we've gone from Ted Bundy to Jeffrey Dahmer to, I guess, this place that goes around just wanting to murder billionaire heiresses' dogs. She did that. She's been involved in a lot of legal spats pertaining to her wedding. She went through 3 different wedding contracts, one of which her father sued, and they sued back and said, your daughter is awful. Her hairstylist, from when her dad put her in the Transformers movie, Justin Anderson, said she's awful. He was the worst client he's ever worked with, that she was so bratty. Because her dad never tells her no. Like if someone said, can we sue a company out of existence because your old dog died, I'd say no to my daughter. I'd say you have to learn to accept death, and you probably need God. And they don't deserve that. But this is what they're doing going forward. So now he's with her, and he's learning that you can sue your family or have a lawyer send them a letter because, you just didn't get the dress made in the way that you wanted. And Vicky B gets a little drunk at 11 p.m. And poor Mark Anthony, the true victim in this entire story, got a little saucy. He did. I believe that. That part of the story, I believe. They didn't even say it, but I'm putting it in there. I think Mark was I think he was salsaing a little bit on the dance floor and told a little joke. Now bring up the most beautiful Victoria Beckham, and Nicola ran off crying because she's never not had attention. Her relationship with Selena Gomez has fallen apart. She's got a whole track record. She was dating Anwar Hadid, Bella Hadid's brother, and he stopped talking to his whole family, and because she wanted it me. And they were very relieved when they broke up. And then she unfollowed his whole family because they were like, they think she's a demon, pretty much, allegedly. It's a long line of people, is what I'm saying, that are saying that this person is awful before you even factor in Vicky B, who has a very good reputation over in England. By the way, I've actually met both of their dads. I met Nelson Peltz. I like Nelson Peltz. I do. I met him many moons ago, and he's just like, he's a good New York Jew business guy. Just like his personality just kind of gels with mine. When you're from New York, you speak a certain way, and I like him. He's a business guy, but I think that he should know when not to give business advice and to give personal advice to his daughter. David Beckham, strange set of circumstances, also ended up somewhere, they've got all these private clubs and things in again, very many moons ago, and he probably has no idea who I am. Because I'm not this was a long time ago, but he wouldn't remember me. But he stood up at this dinner, and he gave a toast. You should know this, Brooklyn, because there were no cameras there. And he gave a toast speaking about how much he loved.
Excuse me? You're reading wrong. Show me your book. I'm going to take a picture of it.
His family. Heart of Gold. How much he absolutely loved and adored his family. And I don't even remember what the context of why he was even giving a toast, or who it was to. But that stuck with me, and I just went, they seem like really good people. And that's not to say that Nelson Peltz was not. He was also very nice, so I have nothing bad to say about him. And the wife as well, Claudia. Her mother was really nice. Do you think your daughter needs to be told no once in her life? If you're suffering from anxiety 4 years after the fact over a wedding dress.
4 years. You're dragging it at this point. You're dragging it. I remember Anthony had did that. I remember Anthony had did that. I had went off on him. Charles had did that too. I was like, you ain't got over it yet. I'm like, we can't proceed. We can't progress in life if you're just still holding on to stuff. 4 years is ridiculous.
And Mark Anthony being a little drunk, you don't have real problems. You just don't have real problems. Anyways, I want to show you this really funny clip because everything is funnier in a British accent, made by these two young women that were discussing the drama. Did you pull that, Sky? Okay, let's roll it.
This is a message for Brooklyn Beckham.
Go to bed. Just
Put
go to bed.
the phone
Put it down. And
down.
Honestly.
What are you doing? Not 7 stories slandering your parents. I'm sorry. I don't know what's gone on, but that's not right.
I don't even have words. I don't even have words for the words that you've written in the notes on your phone and thought it was okay to just put that on your Instagram.
Brooklyn, are you drunk? Like, sorry, but what?
No, he's not. He's just not. Like, are you well? Are you quite well?
It's not acceptable.
Both of them funny together.
To speak about.
He will delete it soon because he'll realise and he'll delete it. That's why it's on stories and he hasn't done it as a post.
If you've got grievances with your parents, speak to your parents, not on Instagram. Come on.
Come on.
It was so true. Could not have said it better myself. Anyways, I'm following this drama because I'm just tracking the many. I mean, Selena Gomez and her had a dust up. They were like best friends, and then suddenly Nicola's writing on Reddit feeds. It looks like it's Nicola. Clearly, someone friended Nicola that Nicola ended the friendship because Selena very clearly wanted Brooklyn. It's like she doesn't have anything to do. She doesn't have anything to do. I'm sorry, Vicky B missed the dog fire charity. I'm sorry she didn't come to watch you spend your father's money. But it's a pretty long flight, and yeah, that's just, they can cut a check and support it from afar. Very Team Victoria Beckham. And I will drop my bias. I grew up on the Spice Girls. I loved them. But I'm not that biased because I actually wanted to be Ginger Spice. But I couldn't. My friends always said that I had to be Scary Spice. Because you could be racist back then. It was fine. We were all cool. Everything was fine back then. We had a fun time. And Vicky B gave me some hits. So Team Beckham. We'll be right back after a break. All right, you guys, if you are a parent, then you know exactly what it means when someone's coming home with a sniffle, a cough, or my throat feels weird voice. I've learned that winter health isn't about reacting, it's about being prepared. That's why Beekeepers Naturals is always stocked in our home, especially at this time of year. I'm especially grateful for Beekeepers Naturals' amazing propolis throat spray. If you haven't heard of propolis, it's this natural immune-supporting substance that bees make to protect their hives. It's like nature's own shield, packed with antioxidants and over 300 beneficial compounds. It's been used for centuries to help support immunity, soothe scratchy throats, and keep you feeling your best. I use a propolis throat spray, especially during the holidays, because it's clean, it's natural, and it's free from all the junk that you can't pronounce. There's no dyes, no chemicals, and no fake sugars. Beekeepers Naturals recently launched a kid-friendly version of their nasal spray, and the mist is super soft and gentle, so kids will actually use it. Today, Beekeepers Naturals is giving my listeners an exclusive offer. Go to beekeepersnaturals.com/Candace or enter code Candace at checkout to get 20% off your order. That's beekeepersnatural.com/Candace or enter code Candace at checkout. Beekeepers Naturals products are also available at Target, Whole Foods, Walmart, Amazon, CVS, and Walgreens. Also remind you guys about American financing, because between groceries, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you are not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to American Financing, but maybe hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. Well, that's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan. It's a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up your cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out if you qualify, so call 800-795-1210. Again, that's 800-795-1210. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net/Owens. Again, that's AmericanFinancing.net/Owens. Okay, I just saw.
And then with Taylisha, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a falling out. It was just a mutual. Our time has come to an end. Thank you for your service. It was good to know you, and that's just pretty much it for me. That's just how I have come to learn how to exit situations when it comes to people. I just will mutually remove myself from them. I will communicate that effectively so that way they don't assume that it's a falling out, because it's not a falling out. I communicated with Talia. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna let you do you. She had just had a baby, so I'm like, you're gonna need your attention. And I had just found out that I was expecting Seth back then. So that just lets you know that was like 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, because he just turned 4 last year. So I'm like, you're gonna need your attention. Even with Taylisha, I went over there and was, kind of helping her and stuff like that. I guess whatever she had going on. And I was like, thank you for your service. We spoke after that. I think she had moved somewhere or traveled somewhere. I don't know. But what was that, 3 years ago? 3 years ago. I have no idea what I said in that in that video, so that's gonna be interesting.
Guys, sorry, I just live saw that this is trending on X. This might be my favorite trend ever, just the way that it's being phrased. Candace Owens kicks off her lawsuit era. Yeah, the Candace Owens Eras tour is going to be so lit. It's going to be so lit. And you're coming dressed as Brigitte. Don't even, that's our favorite. I think that's our favorite lawsuit. Maybe it's, I don't know. I do like the Blake Lively one, it's funsies. But I think I would come dressed like that Halloween costume.
Anyway, it's that wig for me. It's that wig. Like, after a while, you should be like, come on now, please. honey, please find you another one, because you be dogging it out. Just be dogging the little wig out. I'm like, you just over there like Taylor Swift with that forehead.
We have new merch on the website. Reminding you that we also have channels available in Spanish, French, and Portuguese. We have links in the description. Top comment from last episode, you guys absolutely loved me and Baron Coleman together. This person writes, funny how they fired 40 people for leaking info but kept the head of security after the biggest possible failure. Yeah, I will say I did not hear that it was 40 people, but I did hear that it was a lot of people. I heard more. It sounded like 15 people that got fired, but neither here nor there. It's just this like these weird loyalty tests that I do not think are going to serve them, and we have a lot that we are getting and researching because more people are now speaking, because that's not the best solution. Also, update to what I said to Baron yesterday. Another donor who was at the Aspen event does remember, actually says that they do remember Charlie mentioning Erica if, situation, something happened, that Erica would know what to do. So that seems to check out. The donor, I think, is a very good person and obviously doesn't want to be on record. But, different. I brought it up yesterday about whether or not that actually happened in Aspen, and there is a donor that does specifically remember that. So important to update that. Again, this is an open investigation. We ask questions. When we get answers, we share them. Okay, now let's get into some of your comments from today's episode. So much happening in the legal world. What do you guys have to say to me today? We have...
At this point, you're probably not avoiding therapy because of stigma. You're probably avoiding therapy because you've become
Nutrition Jen writes, you called it with the Blake Lively drama of it all. The texts being released are way worse than we thought. Yeah, I just saw her coming. I could just look at people and I just catch a vibe and I'm like, I just knew that they were just flying high. You're Taylor Swift's friend. She's basically running WME. She's a walking $1 billion. They're going to do whatever she wants. And if you're going to be best friends with her for 10 years, you're going to start to just be around that energy and be like, well, if we don't get what we want, we're going to call up our friend Taylor. Schley Walt writes, this might be a low IQ comment, but I swear there is something bigger between you and Tim Dillon. I genuinely believe that with Tim on the Hollywood side of things, with those connections, along with your investigative journalism, you two will be the ones to save the world. First off, let's just shout out all of the comedians who have been so brilliant in commenting on culture in a way that makes sense. It's not, Tim Dillon is one, Dave Smith is another. They hate the fact that Dave Smith is also a comedian. Yeah, in order to be a good comedian, you kind of have to be smart. And Theo Von being the most relatable person, because he just, it's common sense. It's common sense. Like Theo Von, when he delivers something, it's so heartfelt. And I feel like 2025 was really the year where we realized that the comedians make much more sense than all of these politicians. So I absolutely love Tim Dillon. You should go subscribe to his show. I'm constantly ripping his content. I tell him he has to work harder so I can work smarter. Crazy Cat Lady writes, we stand with you, Candace. I hope this helps to get you out from under the contract. Go Max. Yeah, I'm just done. You can't buy people because you want to be immoral. That's just not fair. And like I've said so many times, any Turning Point USA person is welcome to this platform. So this isn't like this is my side and I only want to present my side. I have said, Blake Neff, if you would like to come, you can come onto this show. Andrew Colvett, please. I would love for the spokesperson for Turning Point USA to stop texting people to do his dirty work and to come be a big boy, put your big boy pants on and come sit across from me. We're not hiding, and we are open to being wrong. And I was not convinced that any of these people were honest after that meeting, especially when you were like, no, you were kind of right about a lot of that stuff, but here's why this happened. And I shared those things. I think I've been pretty forthright and honest with my audience about things, and I still don't have a good feeling about what you're doing. So, I was Charlie's friend, not yours. Sucks to suck. Golden Girl writes, I can't wait to see all the memes and clips of you saying you'd have better luck suing the Sun. You are the best. Keep going, Max. Christ is king. I hope they do it. That Sun don't be acting right sometimes, right? It's like you wanted to do this. It's like, look at the contract. She's right here. Yeah, Sun, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Learn to be a friend. Learn to be an actual true friend. And that's kind of been something that I realized has shaken the political world to their core because they don't understand it. The politics is all about who you can blackmail, who you can lie on, stepping on someone's head to get ahead, people sleeping with each other, being deceitful, cheating on each other, lying about who they are, right? Being closeted homosexuals while presenting like they're family men. And I think they hate me because despite all of them having had access to me, they know that there's nothing there, right? They know who I am. They know that I was a good person. They know that I was, in some aspects, a good employee, a good friend, both. And so they have to just make stuff up. I care about my family. I don't care about social media. I don't care about taking pictures amongst the stars. I want to do right by my family. I want to have real relationships with real human beings. Remember, that was also a thing, which, where are your famous friends? Like, what? Right. Why don't you guys have normal friends? It's so weird to me that you think it's abnormal to have real friends in the real world. Again, Tim Dillon is right. They're chasing celebrity. It's just Hollywood. It's the same thing. DC and Hollywood are the same thing. People in Hollywood are kind of prettier and they're like uglier in DC. That's kind of what's going on here. They're all kind of chasing the same thing. They're all vacuous. There's nothing there. There's no substance. When they use the Lord's name, it's because they want more followers for saying that. Me? No, I want to be considered legitimate. And so when people try to push me to speak more about Catholicism, I tell them I'm like a young pup. There are so many people that are way better suited, my husband among them, who would never even want to have the platform or have a camera in front of his face. But you could go pursue that with a priest. You know, you don't need influencers to tell you about the Lord. There are priests that you can sit down with and speak to and have questions. And I still have questions and I'm still learning. So yeah, I think that's what it is. They hate me because they actually know that I'm a good person and that I did right by them. And the Dave Rubin thing yesterday really proved that for me. Golden Girl writes, I can't wait to, I read that. Tiffany writes, you know what a lawsuit means. Loads of depositions and discovery. Oh my, imagine. Could you imagine all of the text messages I would have access to? The timeline that I could put together? I can't, sorry, it's making me giddy. I can't even, the idea of putting together that kind of a timeline, it fills me with Christmas spirit. I can't even think about that. Don't even stop. It's too exciting. The One You Feed writes, it's almost like they are purposefully ravishing the reputation. No one is this stupid. Why? Do they just want to rub it in our face that they can do what they want with impunity? Do they want us to feel hopeless? Yeah, it's either we're so. I do think you get like stupid rich. You know what I mean? You ever meet someone like she's stupid rich? Like she's got so much money. Nicola Peltz is stupid rich, right? They don't know what to do. It's like it's pouring in, it's never going away, and so we're just gonna inconvenience the rest of you. That's one option. Or by conspiracy, Elizabeth McCoy, she's coming up in the regs. She's just in the ear, like, yeah, send the cease and desist. That's a good idea. Wear the sparkly pants. Send the cease and desist. More glitter. I don't know. We're gonna find out anyway. This person just writes donation toward the Lord and truth. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, we will keep plugging. I'll let you know how they reply to our response, which is we're happy to pay you since you care about money. And we'll keep you guys posted. We'll see you tomorrow.
The Wonder Oven Pro is an 8-in-1 non-toxic air fryer toaster oven. Now with 2 new cooking.
Subscribe is how you stop explaining the same thing over and over.
In the background, hold on, my love. Just give me a second.
Zip, Sezzle, all of those things. What do we know about Flex?
What is that?
Right.
We better know about Flex for our rent.
Here we go again.
Exactly.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're having trouble paying your rent,
I'm not.
You need to use the Flex app.
No, ma'am.
Flex paid my rent today.
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't pay today. I didn't have to do nothing today but click a button. They paid my rent, and I don't have to pay it till the 7th. You heard me right. On the 7th.
6 months later.
If you use Flex to pay your rent, look at this. Today is the 6th of the month. My rent is due on the 1st. I paid on the 30th. It must be in by the 4th at midnight. Well, once I paid Flex, I never looked back at it. Look at this email I just found. Thanks for your patience. Our team at Flex is still working with your property company to resolve this issue for rental payment this month. We appreciate your patience as we work on this. Patience? I get home, I got a bitch eviction notice on my door.
No, that's 3 days.
Did you know that they basically have an app like Klarna, but it's for your rent, where you can pay your rent in installments?
That's a terrible idea.
As you can imagine, this doesn't end well for a lot of people. Let's get into the rise of these pay your rent apps. What it look like, TV?
I am back. What it do, baby?
YouTube's own Varnell Hill.
Did ya miss me?
Your very own spokesman for the Insidians, where inside and we're comfortable.
They're so comfortable.
And I'm back with another one. And today, y'all, I got a doozy for y'all. If y'all thought the Klarna, the Affirms, the Zezzels, all that type stuff was a real gamble with your finances, especially having these people linked to your bank account, then you need to get a load of these darn rent apps. People are actually gambling with their place of dwelling just to have a couple extra dollars in their pocket every week.
For a couple extra days.
But the fees and the monthly membership to these things are ridiculous. So before I get too far along, we're just gonna let the lady break down exactly what the options are and what these apps supposedly offer you.
So we know about Affirm, Klarna, Zip, Sezzle, all of those things. What do we know about Flex? We better know about Flex for our rent. Flex is also that girl. It splits your rent in half, close enough to half. Like, my rent is like close to $1,600, so it's like $1,000 and then like $600 or whatever. I don't know how they got that. But I'll take it over just paying it all at once. Okay? If you don't have it, look it up and see if your community has it. It's literally the best thing. Instead of paying all of that up front, you pay half now, and half whenever you schedule the second payment. So you have to pay the first half portion that they give you between the 1st and the 5th, and then you'll pay your second payment on the date that you select. It can be the 15th, it can be from anywhere from the 15th to the 25th, 23rd, I don't know, whatever date. Look into Flex. Thank me later.
No, I'm going to pass on that one.
Just in my personal opinion, rent is already high enough. To be adding any extra taxes and convenience fees on top of an already expensive rent, to me doesn't make any sense. But like I said, they have these apps nowadays that's supposedly helping people. And it's not just Flex. They have multiple of these apps.
There are 3 apps that will let you split your rent into payments. The first one is called the Flex app. Now, this is how it looks on the App Store. The next one is called Rent app. When you go on the App Store, this is how it's going to look. And the third one is called Livable. And on the App Store, it'll look like this. Now, all 3 of these apps work the same way. They will pay your rent in full and you pay them back in installments. Now, with the Flex app, I already have a full video out. Just go on my page. It's pinned at the top of my page if you want to check out that app. Just keep in mind, they do perform a credit check. It will not affect your credit score, but it is a factor that they use to approve you for each of the apps. So if you don't get approved for one, go check out the other ones.
Struggling to trade? We trade for you and get you a prop firm payout in under 30 days. And you don't pay us for anything until you get paid. Mike trusted us, and after 6 failed challenges on his own, he got a $14,247 payout with us. No upfront fees. Emma joined after struggling with 3 failed $50K.
Stop gambling with that.
But just keep in mind, this might not be something that works for everybody.
So there go all your options. But I'll be honest with you. The thing that I found disturbing about these options was the content creators that were promoting, these services. It seems like they was getting a certain type content creator to push this product because it seemed to me like they wanted a certain type of customer base. And it seems like their objective was met. They reached the customer base that they wanted. And I think they just taking advantage of people. But you tell me if you see a trend in the content creators that's promoting these apps.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're having trouble paying your rent, you need to use the Flex app. Go to the Flex app, set it up. Even if your apartment doesn't have it on the website, you can go to the Flex app and say that it doesn't have an option on the website, and the Flex app will create a card for you to pay your rent. Pay your rent in 2 installments. If you're having trouble paying your rent, split it up. Don't try to pay it all at once, because if you pay it all at once, you're going to be broke. Nothing in your pocket. Pay it up in 2 payments. You get paid every 2 weeks. Split it up so you can make sure you get the rent paid. The Flex app reports to your credit, so it helps with your credit. Granted, it will report to your credit if you skip a payment, but so will your rent. I don't know if y'all in California or not, but in California, they report when you make a payment, they report when you skip a payment. The Flex app will help to build your credit, but you will also not have to pay your rent all at one time. Or if you're struggling to pay your rent, you're going to come up with a smaller amount and then figure out the rest later. But pay that rent and go ahead and go to the Flex app. Y'all have no excuses.
Flex paid my rent today. I didn't pay today. I didn't have to do nothing today but click a button. They paid my rent and I don't have to pay it to the 7th. You heard me right, on the 7th. After the 5th, it's okay. This is new. I just saw this email. I opted in the email, so hopefully one day soon you'll get that option from Flex as well.
Are you having trouble paying your rent? If you are, I have the solution. SplitPay is an application that allows you to make your payments in 2. You pay half on the day that your rent is due and the other half in 2 weeks. This allows your landlord to be paid immediately while you still have some money left for whatever it is that you want to do with it.
You don't have no money left. That's the problem. Y'all keep thinking that y'all got money left. It ain't no money left. I don't stop saying that for you. Pissing me off now. You keep saying that. Everybody keeps saying, oh, you could get some money left. It ain't no money left, ma'am. Rent is rent. Rent is rent. Don't, you're going to confuse me. Keep talking about, oh, well, they're going to split it up and then you got to pay this on this and then you got to pay that on that. Ma'am, no.
So with free credit reporting, it also helps build your credit and it helps have some control and flexibility. So if you're wanting to go somewhere, do something, and you need that extra money,
please don't go nowhere and do nothing else with the rent money. Please don't go nowhere else and do nothing with the rent money, because when the other half is due, ma'am, the other half is due. Just save it. Matter of fact, just pay all of it up front. Don't play with the rent money. Just go ahead and pay all of it up front. Leave the little apps and stuff like that. Leave.
You can do it with SplitPay. Check out SplitPay now.
Just split pay it with your...
Needing help paying your rent.
Put that mechanical pencil down.
Together. We'll get you a pencil and paper and get ready to take some notes. I got some companies for y'all that will help pay your rent and monthly payments, okay? Let's get into it.
Okay, look,
so first we have FlexPay.
Okay,
I use FlexPay, and I was kind of iffy about it because I get tired of having my credit ran. But with FlexPay, they do have a monthly subscription of $14. So in order to, use them, you will have to also get your credit ran, and they will give you them for $500. And then our next company is called Jetty. They are rent now and pay later, company as well. And you pay back on your own schedule. Now, what I did was I went through all these companies that I'm telling y'all, and I just decided, okay, which one is going to give me the bang for my buck, and also which one also connects to my apartment. One is Zenbase. Zenbase also offers cash advances, so if you need help paying your rent and you need a cash advance, they got you. And you can also split your rent payments up as well. We also have Defer It. So you can take a picture of your bill and then you will pay it later. And they also are interest free. They're also interest free, meaning that if you're say late on making that payment, some of these companies will charge you interest, but that Defer It will not.
Anybody else peeping the trend? As I scroll through, it's a whole bunch of single women with kids talking about if you need a couple extra dollars, this is what you can do. And a lot of them are on here acting like they in a full-out relationship with these apps.
Yeah, hello, hey, Flex Rent, at this point, we go together. Tell them we go together, baby. We 3 months in now. You my boyfriend. Yeah, we go together real bad. Make no payments today, the 5th, y'all. Let's go.
Oh, I missed it. I missed it. With the screenshot. Just...
Somebody need to tell her, man, you need to be looking for a husband because boyfriends hurt your feelings. And I'm starting to see that these flex apps, these rent apps, and all these other apps that supposedly help you pay your rent, they're about to be the leading cause this year of evictions because they're screwing people over left and right.
Does anyone else use Flex for their rent payments and they didn't make the payment to your apartment complex this month? Because it happened to me. and a lot of other people here at my complex.
Oops. Not a lot of other people. That's the chick that
PDF Spaces, it's your new foundation. Grab your docs, your permits.
Today by 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have to come up with $1,227.50.
Okay, well, slow down, man, with the glasses. Slow down. You talking fast. What anxiety on high? What happened?
And for an app that's called Flex, that approved me.
Okay, calm down. Slow down. I need to hear. You talking too fast.
$100 to help me pay something towards my rent for the month of July.
Pay something toward the rent. Is that how that works? What did she say? It was the 5th. And so, okay, your first payment.
I just finished reading an article about an app called Flex.
How you need the whole rent for you? Okay, for the first payment. I thought that it was split in half. See, you ain't read the fine print.
The purpose of Flex is to take your rent payment and to break it up into 2 or 4 monthly installments.
2 or 4. Child, by the time the first come back around, you're going to be doing the same thing all over again. Hell no.
And in theory, that sounds like a great way to ease the burden of paying rent each.
That's what I said. Look, here you go.
But in many cases, just like this one, the theoretical outcome is not how it's working in real life. The headline reads, online app used to help people pay rent fails, causing bigger issues for Cobb County woman.
Okay, we in Atlanta, Cobb County. I don't know how I missed this article. Where you at? WSB, okay.
She said signing up for and using the app caused her nothing.
And she went to the news. I love it when they go to that news and they don't go to TikTok. I love when they send that email to that news organization. I done did that before.
And problems. Ackworth resident Julie Connor said, brilliant marketing. It was supposed to make my life easier, but here we are. It's looming. It's hanging over my head.
Ooh.
For a monthly fee, Flex will pay your rent. Then you pay
monthly fee. So now you got a monthly fee too that you got to pay as well? Of course. I guess I should have seen that coming. Like a subscription. Hell no.
In installments.
Then you pay them in installments.
Spreading out that biggest regular bill over the course of the month rather than in one lump sum.
Sure.
Connor said it sounded appealing because then you can take one of your biggest fixed costs and divide it into 2.
Right.
But when she tried to update her debit card...
Ooh, hell. See, you know what? As soon as you say debit card, that right there, I cut you off mid-sentence. Oh, Dr. Money Magnet. As soon as you say anything about the debit card, you gonna get cut off. You gonna get cut off. You don't need to be over there my debit card. You don't need to be over there my checking account. Go get you a credit card. Go get you self. They need you. You go on Mission Lane. Come on. Merit, come on. Total Select, everybody. Credit One, come on. Listen, don't say nothing about no debit card. You need to be credit card only. Go ahead and finish.
When the problems began. Honestly, something I thought would be so easy, it was starting to become really, really taxing.
That's all you have. Look, see, taxing. You have to pay a monthly fee. Then you have to pay your installments. You know what I mean? Are they automatically drafting it, or are you responsible to go? Is it your response? I don't know. I wouldn't.
Said 31 emails, and more than a month later, she still owes Flex $1,200.
How?
She had to pay her apartment directly when Flex wouldn't do it.
Oh.
And even worse, she says she can't seem to find a way to cancel Flex.
Oh, hell no.
She called the Consumer Action Center.
Ooh.
Once you're in, you can't get out. Almost like a gang.
Okay, so she's been listening to Candace.
Added. In a statement to the local news affiliate covering the story, Flex acknowledged mistakes with Connor's account. We have resolved this customer's issue, but put plain and simply, it should not have taken as long as it did.
Sure.
When our customers need us, we need to be able to help them and do so quickly, Flex said in an email to Channel 2 Action News. And in a turn of events that surprises none of us, Connor's not alone. Flex only has 1 out of 5 stars at the Better Business Bureau, where more than 400 people have filed complaints just in the past year. And similarly to Connor's experience, many of those complaints are about being unable to reach customer service. One consumer wrote to the Better Business Bureau and said, I wrote to Flex and it took 2 weeks for a response, which did not have a resolution. Just a request to circle back at the end of the month. Many customers also wrote about rent that went unpaid. A complaint in December said it showed on the app that Flex had successfully made the rent payment. Fast forward to yesterday, I get a letter of notice of filing eviction on my apartment door saying I have until today at noon to pay the full rent amount, including a late fee. I would say very assertively and very affirmatively that there is not the support channels, there is not the infrastructure, and that seems to be intentional, Connor said. In a written statement, Flex alluded to the fast growth it has experienced, writing that, given the surge in demand for our service as our company grows, we are working to grow and improve our customer service team as well. Fortunately, complaints due to customer service have decreased by 70% over the past 2 months since we made improvements to our product. So if you or anyone you know are considering using the Flex app to pay rent, please don't.
I definitely wouldn't
Okay,
encourage it.
Okay, got it. So the
There go Koa. That's my cue. Let's just say in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up because they ain't talking about nothing. Love you, bye. Mwah.